What is the void? The void is the thing you feel at night when you're alone, I guess. Sometimes it's rage, sadness, something like that. And it's so simple. It presents itself as that. And like many other mind things, it's a lie. It's like anxiety, it's like depression. Those things pretend to be absolute, they pretend to be all encompassing, and they pretend that your full attention is required, but it's a lie. If you feel the void and you could go to sleep instead of trying to fill it, go to sleep. Because you're never gonna fix something by doing something. Not something this big, you know. You're not gonna fix the void by doing something. It makes sense, right? You shouldn't focus on goals. You shouldn't focus on, watching one more video or just having a good time tonight or something like that, or distracting yourself, because that's trying to fill the void. Sometimes you should sit with the void and get used to the feeling of it being like that, because it's uncomfortable yet necessary. A few hours ago, if I just went to bed while feeling this rage and this void, I would have still fallen asleep, and now it's almost 1 and I'm journaling on the internet again, which is fine. But yeah, life is driven by habit and habits are systems. They're not small things, and you should focus on those systems more than individual things, individual steps, individual increments of those systems. You should just think of the system kind of all the time. And for me, this thing I feel at night, this ADHD thing that I'm trying to fill, it's loneliness. I just wanted connection tonight. And I tried to make it up from computer synthesis, and I knew it wouldn't work, but I did it because I listened to the lie. Because it's such a good lie, bro. When you feel enraged, when you feel lonely, when you feel the void, and I've only come to realize recently that this emotion is void, that this emotion is lack, that this emotion is loneliness. It got so confused for a few years, honestly. I was never thinking it in terms of emptiness anymore, but now I caught it. It's such a good lie that I listen to it. It's so difficult to go to sleep when you feel this way. It's like going against yourself. It's going against your instinct. But your instinct is an instinct of self-protection. You do not want to sit with these feelings. You do not want to acknowledge your patterns of behavior. You do not want to acknowledge the state of your life. So you would rather try to achieve that synthesis, try to fake connection from a distance instead of doing what's right and being in pain so that you can have a better tomorrow. Is sitting with the pain voluntarily really being in pain? I think running away from it is more so being in pain. I watched this video again today, Sink Into What You Are, with Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell, and another guy. Sorry, guy. It's really good. I think it's quite true. The one thing I don't understand about it is when Duncan Trussell goes, keep doing that thing that's upsetting you. Like, what? I don't want to give in to my addiction. I don't want to watch porn. What are you talking about, Duncan? But maybe, that's not the problem, is maybe what he means. Sure, maybe it's not the problem. It's symptomatic treatment to schedule an appointment for addictology and not go anyway. That's not the root of it, This is a thing I realized a long time ago, but after a few years already of not being able to quit screens and porn and stuff, I guess, even though I didn't really see it as being porn, I was like, oh, this is mostly video games and YouTube. You can't erase stuff, Entropy, man. Stuff always takes the place of the stuff you erase. So if you want to quit something, you gotta start something, so that it takes its place, and it's much more. It's way easier. It's more natural, It's a flow. So going to sleep, man, it's just incredibly hard, but it's really that lie, Letting emotions rule you. Letting the event of emotion rule you instead of the system of emotion. You should definitely listen to the system of emotion and acknowledge it and work on it. Loneliness, rage, emptiness, these things I feel in these moments, they are very important messages to listen to as a whole, but in the moment they're not useful. They don't serve me. I know they're present in general, and that's what I can work on, but in the moment they just take away my sleep and sanity and self-control, I guess. So letting them rule me is letting go of lessons I've learned years ago. It's giving into the lie of constant self-protection. Things like trying to protect yourself all the time, trying to outwit fate. These are some of the worst things people can do for themselves.